Hi, I'm here with Father Casey Cole and Father Roberto Serrano. They're in the lineup as the Bleacher Brothers. They're traveling for 11 weeks. A few weeks ago, they began a 17,000-mile trip. We're going to learn it's really a little bit more, to visit all 30 Major League Baseball parks. Let's hear how this all came about. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks. So the first thing is you were in novitiate formation together, and now you're traveling in a van sometimes and flying sometimes. What's it like to be back together, again, getting the group back together?
Yeah, it's good. We lived together a year ago, for a year, 8 years ago, and then a couple years ago as well. We're good friends. We get along with each other, but you push together in a truck for 11 weeks. It's difficult.
Yeah, sitting in one cab with this guy is just exhausting. No, it's a good time. I think we both have similarly flexible personalities, and so it's very easy for us to kind of move into a rhythm together.
And you have this shared love of baseball. You spoke earlier about your dad is a lover of baseball, yes, and is umped. So tell us how that brought you to taking a tour of all these wonderful baseball parks.
Well, we first met as postulants. I was in a different province of Franciscans at the time, but we kind of clicked very quickly, and one of the things was about baseball. We talked about it. We talked about our experience playing it, how much we still loved it. And during our novitiate, we were asked a very simple question. The friars used to go into the city streets, into the public places, and encounter the people. What is that going to look like in your time? And I thought about it for about 5 minutes and moved on to another thing. And he sat there and thought about it for quite some time and came up to me not too long after that and said, I have this idea for going and meeting people in baseball stadiums. Would you like to do that with me? And I said yes.
Wow, that's great. And what a provocative question.
Yeah.
Like, really,
where do we meet the people?
Yeah. And just like St. Francis, of course, and Jesus, and faith in the public square.
Right.
So where did you start? And there's some beautiful maps of your tour on the website. There's some great things. Where did you start, and what's been your favorite thus far?
It's been a zigzaggy tour. Unfortunately, not all the teams are home when we want them to be. So we started in Georgia, went south through Florida, up and doing the Northeast loop now. We'll go Midwest next and then fly out to the West. There's been no bad stadium, and I think that's difficult for people to accept because some get criticized a lot more, but there's unique things to all of them.
Sure.
We loved some of the new architecture. We love the stadiums that have opportunities to catch the history and to hang out and to be an open atmosphere. Because one of the beautiful things about baseball is you talk during it. You meet people. You talk. Other sports are very intense and you're always focused. This is kind of the pastime. You sit and you have a beer with a friend. You reminisce. And so we love stadiums that allow that. Yeah,
and there's so many wonderful traditions in baseball. Here in Boston, of course, you're going to be singing a lot. It's kind of interesting. What's been your favorite tradition that you've encountered thus far?
Favorite tradition? That's difficult to say. Just there are a lot of them, and a lot of them are centered around the cultures of each city. I do enjoy singing Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's something I got to see as a kid on TV. It was something that Red Sox fans always did. And Fenway just being such an iconic stadium, I always wanted to go there. And so the very first time I got to, I sang along nice and loud. I think there's something magical in the place where everyone sort of takes on a Boston accent.
That's true.
when they're singing that song. But it was just...
As two guys who have gotten to participate in it, I have to say throwing out the first pitch is pretty a cool tradition.
Oh, sure.
So we each, and day one and day two, we threw out the first pitch. And there's something very unnerving and very amazing to step on that hallowed ground, which is the pitcher's mound on the field. We've been blessed to go around to these stadiums and touch the field for most of them. And we've been talking about it in religious language. It is a pilgrimage. We are going to cathedrals in some ways to invite them to maybe the hollower ground, to the greater cathedrals. But there is something about beauty that is absolutely there.
Sure. And certainly for you being that presence, that's very powerful witness. What's the reaction been thus far? And I know you're just a couple of weeks into this, but what's been the reaction thus far?
There have been some very interesting reactions, some that we anticipated. A lot of people see us and wonder if it's Star Wars night because, we look like Jedi. But,
Are you Padres fans? Actually, they're fans of us.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So we do have sort of responses geared up for these now.
Good for you.
But yeah, the response is usually curiosity. And I really love it. The thing that caught us off guard that we just weren't anticipating was how many people are Catholic who maybe have just kind of fallen into a little bit of a plateau in their faith. And this has sort of re-enlivened them, like, oh, wow, this is so interesting. This is so cool. That's been really nice. That was unexpected.
Yeah.
The amount of times we prayed with people and for people at the stadiums has been fantastic.
Yeah. And what a tremendous gift to the church, given the circumstances of the past few years, for that to be in such a positive light and for people to see you as approachable that way. I mean, I know there's so many folks who don't want to wear their religious garb when they go out, but it's super important for all of us. We all wear our teams on our sleeves, right? We should be, wearing our faith on our sleeves too. We're so glad that, you've included Fenway. I know you're going to 30, but this will be the favorite park, I can promise you. I haven't been to a lot, but, I just love my team, don't we all, So thanks for coming to Boston.
Absolutely,
yeah,
yes.
Definitely a classic, the pesky pole. You're in for a treat. I know it's not your first time, but you're in for a treat.
Looking forward to it.
Enjoy it. So thanks so much for making time to be with us on this seventh inning stretch, so to speak. Thanks
Absolutely.
so much.
Thank you.